Hey guys, this is God of Politics, and welcome back to a brand new video. But before we get started with this video, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Also join the Discord that is linked down in the description, and check out the website, which is also linked down in the description. I do update that every day with my election predictions, my poll analysis, and much more, so you should check that out. But in today's video, it is October 1st, so I will be doing my updated Battleground Map. Now, the Battleground Map is the state of the race as of now. Now, I will have my prediction, which is how it will be come November. That'll be out, in a week or so, and we'll see what the map looks like then. But this is the Battleground Map. What is the state of the race right now? We are just above a month until the election now, and Joe Biden's in a pretty strong position, but will he be able to capitalize on the position by winning certain swing states? Will he be able to keep this position come November? I'm going to be talking about that in this video by seeing where his position is right now. So as always, we will start off with the safe Republican states. That includes as well, the usual states like Idaho, Utah, Montana, Wyoming, North Dakota, South Dakota, all of Nebraska except for the 2nd District, Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, Missouri, Indiana, and West Virginia. So that is 113 safe Republican electoral votes. And then for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, I do believe they will win Washington, Oregon, California, Hawaii, as well as New Mexico. I do believe they'll win safe, as well as the state of Illinois, as well as Virginia, as well as Maryland, Delaware, DC, New Jersey, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, New York, Maine at large, and Maine's 1st Congressional District. So that amounts to a hefty 207 safe electoral votes for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, and then 113 safe electoral votes for Donald Trump and Mike Pence. Now, getting into the likely margin states, we only have 2 of them, and that is Alaska and South Carolina. Now, these states were, Alaska and South Carolina, both won by Trump by around 14 percentage points, and the polls have actually shown it quite close. Some polls have shown Trump winning by 2, and while I don't think Trump's going to win by only 2 percentage points, I do think that it will be a little bit closer, and I think that it will be just below the safe margin, probably going by around 9 to 10 percentage points. But don't take this as a sign that they're competitive at all, because they are not competitive. You could argue maybe the Senate level they're a little bit more competitive, but no, they're not competitive at the presidential level. I am just moving them into the likely column. As for the likely states for Joe Biden, I do believe first he will win Nevada. Nevada, he has a lot of room to improve in the Las Vegas suburbs, and the polls, which have always underestimated Democrats for quite a long time in Nevada, are showing Joe Biden with quite a healthy lead. And so I do think he will continue that and ride that into a likely margin of victory. Same thing with the state of Colorado, which I do think he'll almost win by a safe margin of victory. As of now, I do think at this point he'd win it by almost 10 percentage points, maybe just a little bit under that. Again, Joe Biden has a lot of room to improve in the Denver suburbs, the Colorado Springs area, and he may even do better in these rural areas too. And sure, he didn't do as well here in the primary, but again, the polls here are very good for him, and the trends are in his favor. And then I do have one more state going by a likely margin, and that is actually, we actually had the state of New Hampshire. I accidentally put it as safe. It is actually a likely margin state, so 203 safe electoral votes for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, but New Hampshire will be a likely margin state. Some polls have shown Joe Biden up by, 11, 12 percentage points. Then we had the New York Times poll showing him up by 3. I think he's probably up by around 5 to 6 percentage points. Sure, he struggled there in the primary, but he's doing a lot better with white working class voters than Hillary Clinton was. Plus, you have Jeanne Shaheen on the ticket at the Senate level. You also have Chris Sununu there for the governor level, but those will kind of balance each other out, so I don't really buy the argument that Chris Sununu will help Trump in the state. But I do believe that New Hampshire will go by a likely margin to Joe Biden. Now, getting into the lean margin states, first, I believe Texas is a lean margin state. Some polls have shown this close, and if you actually apply the same polling errors as 2016 onto the state of Texas would actually be a blue state. Now, I'm not saying Texas is going to go blue. I think Donald Trump wins it by around 3 to 4 percentage points, but Democrats have a lot of room to gain. They're actually putting a lot of money into some of these House seats in the state House, which they actually have quite a good chance of taking. It's very possible they have a path. I won't talk about that too much here, but they do have a path. As for the presidential race, certain polls have shown it close, and the trends are definitely in Joe Biden's favor with college-educated white voters in, Dallas, Houston, Austin, San Antonio. They are all in his favor. They're the trends, and I do expect them to further trend towards the Democrats' column, which will give Donald Trump a victory. Who's very unpopular in the state. I think he'll win the state by around 3 to 4 percentage points. I also think Iowa and Ohio will go by 3 percentage or around maybe 3 percentage points. As of now, we actually, in both, even on Real Clear Politics RCP average, the Iowa and Ohio average has Joe Biden up. I believe in Ohio he's about by around 3 to 4 percentage points. In Iowa he's up by around half a percentage points. We've had some good polls, especially in Iowa, that have shown that Joe Biden was up. We had the Des Moines Register, which showed it at a tie. New York Times had Biden up 3. And while I don't think it's in Joe Biden's column, Joe Biden's he doesn't have the same weaknesses as Hillary Clinton with white working class voters, especially in this northeastern area of Iowa, which has been trending towards the Republicans. I do believe Joe Biden can kind of buck that trend, gain some of those areas. Iowa's a very swingy state, and Ohio. You look at Sherrod Brown, who won by 6 percentage points in 2018. Mike DeWine also won. But if you look at Iowa, you see Kim Reynolds won, but also Democrats won the popular vote here in the House, so they have the ability to win this state. But as of now, I will put it at lean Republican. And then for the Democrats, I do have 4 states here that I am going to put at lean Democrat, and that is Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. I'm going to put these all at lean margins. Minnesota, I believe, is a more upper tier lean margin state. You look at some of these iron range trends, these areas that are trending towards the Republicans, but you do have these suburban trends that are making the state trend towards the Democrats. So overall, I do think this could be, a very big swing state into the far future. But as of now, I do think Joe Biden and Kamala Harris will win it by a lean margin. As for these other 3 Rust Belt states, the polls have just been so good for Joe Biden. And even if you put in the same polling errors as 2016, Joe Biden will still end up winning the state. We have more polls this time, more quality polls this time, showing the exact same thing. And the message of that is that Joe Biden has a big lead. Not necessarily 4 or 5 percentage points, but I think just above 2 percentage points. You look recently at the Trafalgar polls. Trafalgar Group was the only group that got it right in 2016. They predicted Michigan to be Trump +2. They predicted Pennsylvania to be Trump +1. They ended up getting that right. Now they have Biden +2 in Pennsylvania, +2 in Michigan, and +3 in Wisconsin. So it's hard to bet that those states will not go to Joe Biden, at least now, by quite an easy margin. Some people say Kenosha, the riots there would help Donald Trump, and that the Minneapolis protests would help Donald Trump. That is completely bogus. It seemed to help Joe Biden. If anything, he's doing much better in these Rust Belt areas now. He's got to solidify them. Joe Biden is in Pennsylvania right now, I do believe. He recognizes the importance of them, but I do believe at least right now he's in a very strong position. I also believe Nebraska's 2nd district is lean Democrat. We actually had a poll here from the New York Times showing that it was lean Democrat. Joe Biden is actually up by 7 percentage points, so it's likely Democrat. But I am putting it a lean Democrat. It's a very suburban district. I've mentioned this before, it's got a lot of college-educated voters. 39% of the district is college-educated, partially because of the fact that it's in a more urban district. And that's higher than any other swing state. Second place is Pennsylvania at 30%. So there are a lot of voters here for Joe Biden to gain with. That's what's causing the suburban trend, those college-educated white voters. And so Joe Biden do expect to gain with them, and I do expect him to be able to win Nebraska's 2nd district by a lean margin. Now, the tilt states. First, Maine's 2nd district, I do believe will be a tilt margin. Let's just fix Maine at large. But Maine's 2nd district, I do believe will be a tilt margin. Joe Biden's been doing a lot better here in terms of the trends. He's been doing better with white working class voters. He's been doing well with rural voters. You look back at 2012, Obama won this district by 8 percentage points. Donald Trump comes out of the blue and wins it by 10 percentage points. But Joe Biden definitely has the ability to win in this district. The polls have actually shown him winning, and I've moved it from likely margin to tilt margin in about a month. So that's very remarkable for Joe Biden. But I do believe that he can get very close to Maine's 2nd district, but at least for now, I do believe that Donald Trump will be able to narrowly win it. I also do believe these southern states here, Florida, as well as Georgia and North Carolina, are all tilt margin states. First, starting off with the state of Florida, Republicans have done quite well here in voter registrations. I know they have, in a lot of places like Pennsylvania, for example. But in Florida, you also have some of the fundamentals of the state that are helping Donald Trump. You have the fact that it's his home state. You have the fact that it elects incumbents. And the polls have actually been quite good for Donald Trump, all things considered, considering how bad he's doing in every other state. You only need around a 1 percentage point polling error, and he actually wins the state. Joe Biden's up by around 1.5 percentage points. A year back in 2016, the polls showed Donald Trump winning by 0.4 percentage points according to the RCP average. So it's definitely in reach for Donald Trump. It's his must-win state. If Donald Trump loses Florida, there's virtually no path for him. You can already see from my prediction here, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are at 279, but Donald Trump, if he doesn't win Florida, it just makes his situation even worse. His path to victory is limiting the damage in areas like Hillsborough County and Duval County, these suburban counties that have long been Republican strongholds. And if you're Joe Biden, the strategy is to limit the damage in Miami-Dade County, where there's a lot of Latino voters that are kind of not that much in support of you. So if you can stop the bleeding amongst those groups and you can gain a lot in Hillsborough County and Duval County, you will win the state. Similar to Andrew Gillum, but doing just as well in Miami-Dade County and improving in those suburban counties like Duval and Hillsborough. That is Joe Biden's path to victory. Now, talking about Georgia, we've actually had many polls recently showing it virtually tied, maybe some even showing Joe Biden ahead. And this is very interesting because, Georgia's one of those states where it's trending blue because Republicans don't have much room to gain. The rural areas are already very, very Republican. And sure, there's some localized areas like the southwestern area that maybe the Republicans can gain in, but mainly the main counties that make up the largest proportions of the state are the suburban counties, areas like Gwinnett County, Cobb County, Fulton County. Fulton County is a very urban county, but areas like Cobb County, Gwinnett County are trending, very, very large towards the Democrats. Joe Biden, I do expect to continue that growth and trend towards the Democrats, and I do expect him to make the state very close. I do expect him to narrowly win it to Donald Trump, though. And then finally, the final Republican state is the state of North Carolina. Now, North Carolina is a state where you've kind of got conflicting trends. I've talked about this before. You've got these rural areas that are trending towards the Republicans. Republicans have a lot of these rural areas to gain up, these areas up in the north that have been traditionally more Democrat. Now the Democrats have the opportunity to gain in areas like the Mecklenburg County area, the Raleigh area, the Winston-Salem area. So there's conflicting trends, and I do expect these trends to continue. I do think the suburban trends are more significant, as well as the trend in the national environment towards Joe Biden, which I do believe right now is around Biden plus 6 or 7 percentage points. So overall, I do think that Joe Biden will make this state very close, but I do think he will narrowly lose it. But that's more of a must-win for Donald Trump than it is for Joe Biden. Joe Biden doesn't even need the state of North Carolina. As you can already see, he's at 270 electoral votes. He's already been elected president, and I do expect him, at least for now, to win with 290 electoral votes, winning the state of Arizona. Talking about Arizona briefly, Arizona is the area with Maricopa County, which controls much of the state. It's been the Republican stronghold for a while. You look at Mitt Romney, who won this area by 11 percentage points. Donald Trump, who won it by 3 percentage points. Martha McSally, who lost it by 3 percentage points, and it's looking like Martha McSally is going to lose again, and Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have an opportunity to take the state of Arizona. They also have the opportunity to take the state House and the state Senate. But it's very notable how much Arizona has shifted. It's really a sign of how these suburbs have shifted nationwide. I do expect these trends to continue. It's going to help Joe Biden in areas like Georgia, North Carolina, Florida, Virginia, Pennsylvania. That's what's going to win in the presidency, and it's very true. It's same thing in the state of Arizona, which I do expect him to narrowly win, as the polls are currently showing, which are actually quite accurate historically. So, final map looks like Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, 290 electoral votes. Donald Trump and Mike Pence, 248 electoral votes. You may disagree with these predictions, and these predictions are certainly subject to change. I'll have 2 more Battleground maps up until the election, 1 more prediction, and it is going to be very interesting to see because the election is getting ever closer. I've been making videos this entire time, so if you could please show your support by liking this video and subscribing to the channel, I would very much appreciate that. So, again, thank you all for watching this video, and I will see you guys later.